Humanity watched in silence as the last ships left Earth orbit. The homeworld, once a beacon of resilience and progress, now lay behind an impenetrable wall of galactic council warships. The exile was final. No return, no negotiations. Elias Voss stood at the viewport, fists clenched. The council had judged humanity as too volatile, too ambitious, too unpredictable, a threat to their fragile order. Their answer? Expulsion. Billions were scattered across inhospitable planets on the fringes of known space, left to wither and die. But humanity did not die. They adapted. On barren wastelands where nothing should have survived, humans built. On frozen moons where even council technology struggled, humans endured. On toxic worlds deemed uninhabitable, they thrived. The Galactic Council had underestimated the human spirit. They saw only creatures of war, failing to grasp that war was merely an extension of survival. And survival? That was humanity's oldest art. The colonies, at first fractured and desperate, found unity in hardship. Scientists salvaged what little technology remained, reverse engineering it, improving it, refining it. Engineers repurposed scavenged wreckage, forging weapons, armor, and fleets from the bones of forgotten battles. The weak perished. The strong became legends. Elias Voss, once a soldier stripped of his rank, became the voice of the Terran exodus. His words were fire, igniting a movement that spread across every exiled world. They cast us into the abyss, believing we would fall. He reminded them, but humanity has never fallen. We rise. The first strike was small, a mining outpost on the edge of the Vorten Dominion. The Council had left it barely guarded, assuming humanity lacked the means for an attack. They assumed wrong. A single squad of cybernetically enhanced soldiers tore through the Vorten defenses, hacking their security systems, turning their own weapons against them. Within hours, the outpost fell. A week later, 3 more followed. The Council dismissed the attacks as rogue insurgencies. Their mistake. Within months, entire fleets vanished into human-controlled space. The Exodus fleet had grown into something formidable, faster, more agile, designed for war in ways the stagnant Council had long forgotten. AI-assisted battle strategies rendered alien tactics obsolete. Guerrilla warfare shattered their supply lines. Every attempt to retaliate ended in failure. The final sign of humanity's return came when the colony world of Dresden fell. Once a proud council stronghold, it became a graveyard of burning ships and broken alien legions. The survivors were given a message to deliver. Humanity has returned. Elias Voss stood before the first council prisoner, an admiral who had once overseen the exile. The alien trembled, its once arrogant gaze now filled with fear. "You thought we would die in the dark," Voss said. "But we were forged in it." He turned to the broadcast console, his next words sent across every council-controlled world. "You cast us out. You thought it was over. But this is only the beginning." The war moved fast. Too fast for the council to comprehend. They had spent centuries in peace, believing diplomacy and superior numbers were enough to maintain order. But humanity had learned to fight with nothing. Now, armed with stolen technology and the relentless drive to reclaim their place, they tore through the stars like wildfire. The first major offensive struck the heart of the Zelnari Trade Confederacy. A species known for its economic dominance and impenetrable defenses, the Zelnari had never lost a war. Until now, human infiltration teams disabled planetary shields within hours. Orbital stations, thought to be indestructible, were shattered by kinetic impact weapons moving at relativistic speeds. The Zelnari government surrendered within days. Their economy, once the backbone of the Council's war machine, was now under human control. Council fleets scrambled to mount a response. They deployed armadas 5 times the size of any human force, relying on sheer numbers. It didn't matter. Humanity didn't fight by their rules. They struck from the shadows, using electronic warfare to blind enemy ships, disabling navigation, severing command structures. AI-assisted fleet maneuvers predicted council responses before they even happened. Every engagement ended the same. Council fleets left burning in the void, their survivors fleeing in terror. Panic spread among the ruling species. The Vorten Dominion collapsed entirely, its leadership executed by their own people for failing to stop the human advance. The Krillin Imperium, once the Council's enforcers, abandoned their posts and went into hiding. Even the Council's most powerful warlords began to question their survival. Then came Karathun Prime, the Council's last hope, a fortress world with planetary defenses capable of reducing entire fleets to ash. Every remaining Council warship gathered there, a desperate last stand against the inevitable. The human fleet arrived in silence. No threats, no negotiations, just the cold efficiency of a species that had already decided the outcome. As the battle began, Council admirals realized too late what was happening. The humans had lured them in, drawn them to a single point, while hidden quantum disruptors activated across the system. One by one, Council ships lost power, their weapons useless, their shields failing. The massacre lasted less than an hour. Elias Voss watched from the bridge of the Exodus Prime, humanity's flagship, as the last Council dreadnought was torn apart by railgun fire. The war was over. There would be no peace talks, no treaties, no conditions. The Galactic Council had ceased to exist, its once mighty empire reduced to ruins. The last surviving Council Chancellor sent a final transmission, a plea for mercy. Voss gave no reply. Instead, his next message was broadcast across the galaxy. To all who stand against us, know this. Humanity does not bow. Humanity does not beg. We were cast into the dark, but we have returned as its masters. The stars belong to us now. The galaxy lay broken. What remained of the old order was either dead, in chains, or hiding in the outer reaches of space. The Terran Dominion rose from the ashes, not as a council, not as a democracy, but as an empire forged in war. Humanity no longer fought for survival. They ruled. Former council worlds were brought under Dominion control. Some surrendered willingly, hoping to avoid extinction. Others resisted. It didn't matter. Resistance was met with swift annihilation. The Dominion had no interest in diplomacy. They had learned the lesson of exile well. Mercy was weakness, and weakness invited death. Trials were held for the architects of humanity's banishment. They stood before Elias Voss, stripped of their former power, awaiting judgment. The most arrogant among them still clung to the belief that humanity would show restraint, that there were still rules to be followed. Voss proved them wrong. Each trial ended the same way. Execution. No grand speeches. No drawn-out theatrics. The sentence was death, carried out immediately. Those who had conspired against humanity were erased, their names lost to history. But ruling a galaxy was different from conquering one. Humanity had won the war, but now they faced the challenge of rebuilding. Entire civilizations had been destabilized. Power vacuums created chaos in once prosperous systems. The Dominion needed structure, order, control. New Terra, the heart of the Dominion, became the seat of power. Massive orbital cities housed humanity's greatest minds, developing technology far beyond what the Council had once restricted. Terraforming project began, turning lifeless moons into habitable worlds. The Dominion's fleet expanded, no longer just for war, but for dominion over the stars themselves. Former slave races of the Council were given a choice: serve or perish. Many pledged loyalty, grateful to humanity for toppling their former masters. Others resisted, believing humanity was just another conqueror. Their defiance was met with overwhelming force. With every system brought under control, humanity's philosophy evolved. No longer the exiled, no longer the oppressed. They were the architects of a new era. The Dominion was not built on compromise. It was built on absolute authority. Voss, once a soldier, now sat upon the throne of Terra. He had led humanity through war, but even he knew that peace was a different battlefield. The next generation, raised under the banner of the Dominion, would know only strength. They would never experience exile, never kneel before another species. There was no room for hesitation, no room for weakness. Humanity had claimed the stars, and they would never surrender them again. The Dominion's expansion continued. In the darkness of deep space, the final remnants of the old council whispered of rebellion. But Voss knew better. There were no more rebellions, no more resistance, only the will of humanity, stretching across the galaxy like an unbreakable chain. He stood before the Dominion's High Council and spoke the truth that had been earned in blood. We were cast into the void with nothing, and now we are everything. Centuries passed, but the Dominion did not falter. Humanity had rewritten the laws of the galaxy, reshaped its very foundation. Where once there had been fragile alliances and endless bureaucracy, there was now only order. The iron rule of mankind extended to every corner of known space. The last embers of resistance had been extinguished long ago. No species dared challenge the Dominion. The few who had tried were nothing more than footnotes in history, their civilizations reduced to dust. Humanity had proven, beyond all doubt, that they were the ultimate force. With war behind them, their focus shifted to evolution. Dominion scientists unlocked secrets once thought impossible. Cybernetic augmentation became standard. Genetic enhancements eliminated weakness. Artificial intelligence, once feared, was now a trusted ally. Every human was stronger, faster, more intelligent than those who had come before. Planets became fortresses. Fleets became omnipresent. Entire star systems were converted into industrial powerhouses, fueling an empire that knew no rival. The Dominion had become more than a government. It was a way of life. Elias Voss had long since passed, his name spoken with reverence, his image carved into monuments across the galaxy. His philosophy endured, guiding every decision, every action. Strength above all. Mercy was a relic of the past. But even with absolute control, humanity did not stagnate. Exploration pushed ever outward, beyond the reaches of what the old council had dared to map. Dyson spheres encased stars, fueling unimaginable advancements. Entire worlds were constructed from nothing, forged in the void by machines working tirelessly under human command. Then, on the farthest edge of known space, the Dominion found something unexpected. A structure ancient beyond comprehension, a remnant of a civilization older than any recorded history. Not council, not human, something else. Something that had existed long, before even the first stars of the Milky Way had ignited. Scans revealed nothing. No life, no power, no indication of who or what had built it. But the silence of the void spoke volumes. Humanity was no longer looking at the past. They were staring into the future. For the first time in centuries, there was an unknown, a question without an answer. The High Council convened, debating their course of action. Some saw it as a threat, others as an opportunity. But the final decision was made with the same conviction that had driven humanity since exile. They would not turn back. They would not ignore it. Humanity had been cast out once, forced into the darkness. They had conquered that darkness, shaped it to their will. Now, standing at the precipice of something greater, they would do the same. No matter what lay ahead, one truth remained. Humanity ruled the stars, and nothing would ever change that.